Good morning. My name is Dr. Deepika. Today I'll be discussing about the basic concept of ratio analysis. What do you mean by ratio analysis? It is a very important point used in financial management, used in finance. Ratio analysis. So starting with the basic definition, ratio analysis refers to the study or analysis of a line item present in the financial statement of the company. It can be used to check various factors of a business such as profitability, liquidity, solvency, and efficiency of the business or a company. There are some category of ratio analysis. First, liquidity ratio. What do you mean by liquidity ratio? Liquidity ratio are helpful in determining the ability of the company to meet its debt obligation by using the current asset. Next is solvency ratio. Solvency ratio are used to determining the viability of the company in the long term, or in other words, it is used to determine the long term liability of the organization. Next is activity ratio. Activity ratio are used to measure the efficiency of the business activity. It determines how the business is using its available resources to generate maximum possible revenue. Next, profitability ratio. The purpose of profitability ratio is to determine the ability of the company to earn profit when compared to their expenses. A better profitability ratio shows the business as compared to its previous accounting period shown that business is performing well. Next, some of the uses of ratio analysis. Ratio analysis is useful in following ways. Number one, comparing financial position. One of the most important thing about ratio analysis is that it helps in comparing the financial performance of two company. If we want to know the financial position of company, we can go for ratio analysis. Next is trend line. Company trend to use the activity ratio in order to find out any kind of trend in the performance. Companies uses data for financial statement that is collected from financial statement over many accounting period. The trend is obtained can be used for predicting the future financial performance of the company. Next, operational efficiency. Financial ratio analysis can be used to determine the efficiency of managing the asset and liability. It helps in determining and understanding whether the resources of the business is overutilized or underutilized. So these are some of the uses of ratio analysis. Next, there are some of the advantages of ratio analysis. Number one, ratio analysis effectively direct a company's operational decision on the basis of its percentage value. As a result, companies can either encourage or discourage a managerial policy depending on the value that ratio analysis has denoted. Ratio analysis actively open decision making avenue by considering the drawback and strengthen the operation. Since ratio analysis also indicated the growth factor of the organization, it brings several operational area under the lens of management. Next, ratio analysis additionally provide an insight into an organization performance within its industry. Beside this process also helps the company determine its position in the associated sector. These are some of the advantages. Next, there are some disadvantages of ratio. Number one, the primary limitation of ratio analysis is that it is the process, not the solution in itself. This process lacks in value of its own unless decision maker uses this to take effective direction. The method of ratio analysis differ from various companies. Therefore, due to lack of uniformity in the process, data gathered are often incompatible. For example, certain firms may or may not consider current liability in the process of calculating the current ratio. One of the major disadvantages of ratio analysis is that it considered only the monetary inclination of the business. Therefore, it ignores the qualitative aspect of the firm, such as productivity, working condition of the employees. So these are some of the limitations of ratio analysis. In all, what we can say, ratio plays a very important role. Companies uses ratio analysis to compare the overall company's performance. Thank you so much.